So the wife's been waiting for me to finish this video for a while. It's the Harry Potter themed portion of the Scotland trip. So disclosure, I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but there's definitely an image that I wanted that is kind of from the movie. We took a tour that took us on the Jacobite Steam Train and crossed the viaduct. I wanted a shot of the train crossing the viaduct, so we went back. Also checked out Dumbledore's grave site and some night photography in Diagon Alley, and more. So let's dive into it. There was some incredible color in the sunrise, and after getting my first shot at the tail end of the Royal Mile, I tried for a long exposure with vehicle tail lights going down the road, but the bus pulled up blocking my view before I got it. I should have focused on the chimneys instead.
Very Scottish word, that.
We stopped at the Glenfinnan Viaduct, climbed up to the viewpoint for some selfies with the viaduct in the background, before I turned the telephoto to the view of the locked shield. Although the stop was short, we were able to get to the water's edge for a couple minutes as well, before getting back onto the bus.
Right-hand side, that mountain.
Malag offered some absolutely incredible breathtaking views, which I soaked in before wandering into the small coastal community. This was where the steam train would depart, tracing its route back the way we'd come. While waiting to board, I pulled out the telephoto once again and tried my hand at capturing some abstract shots of the steam rising from the engine. A few of them turned out really well, I think. The train ride itself was fairly uneventful. Spent chatting with the couple seated across from us. There were two main viewpoints along the route. The first, Dumbledore's grave site from the films. It was on the opposite side of the train, making it tricky to capture. Since we hadn't planned on visiting it in person, this was supposed to be our only glimpse. The couple across from us didn't manage to get a good look, so I pulled a still from the footage and shared it with them. After some service, it was time to cross the viaduct, seeing the mobs of people there to witness and photograph the crossing. We would become one of those little specks. The tour ended back at the Royal Mile, and I'd spent a bit of time on Cockburn Street, just off the Royal Mile. I like the Milkman as a subject, as it has that Diagon Alley vibe, though Victoria Street, which is much busier, is said to be the inspiration. Passing through Glencoe, heading to Inverness, we stopped at the Hagrid Hut filming location. I climbed this slick hill for the perspective, and after waiting our turn, got the shots of the wife before my own. Literally running, tried to catch the train. It's running behind, so might be a chance, but we miscalculated 100%. So next one's still coming, but I'll be going the other way. See if I make it. Though we did somehow mess up the timing, the parking lot was also full, so we had to find another spot to park, which was at the station. It was an unexpected 20-minute hike to the viewpoint. So definitely did not get that picture of the train. It was running late, so would have been a bonus anyway, although that was the train we were supposed to come out and shoot. I don't know what happened to our timing, but we were definitely late. So we're on the other side now, and the train will come back this way. And I don't think it's as nice as if it had gone the other way to Allag. But yeah, so I'm just set up a little up here when it comes through in about 35, 40 minutes. But there's people everywhere already, and over on the other side, lots of little ants. So it'll be a busy spot and should get a nice shot. But there's epic views. while we wait. The heather is here, but it's past its prime, but nice views. There was a rainbow a little earlier down the arch too, but overall, I wasn't super thrilled with how the images came out. One, when the train comes back, it's facing the wrong way and it looks odd. In this crossing, it also seemed like the steam was started late, wasn't really flowing until after the train had already passed. But that's okay, I'd get another crack. So I had this place to myself for a little bit. Super windy, not ideal conditions, but some drama. So I got the shot from the movie, I guess. I don't know, I've never seen it. But Dumbledore's grave here from Harry Potter. And then kind of moved around, took a few shots, long exposures for the most part because it's choppy waters, and I kind of wanted like a ethereal kind of look. So there is a train going. It's not the Jack Express, but that's where the train goes, and you see this island on the train. So I got a short little video of it, but yeah. So I'm just waiting for this wetness to go, and I have my 20 millimeter on now because you do need to be pretty wide here. So I was shooting everything so far at 24, which is the best I can do on that other one, 24 to 120. So I put on my 20 just for that little extra, and we'll see if it stops raining long enough for me to get a shot. And a tour bus just came by, and there's a rainbow behind me. I don't know if I'll show up. Lots of rainbows in Scotland because it rains. This time we arrived with plenty of time to spare for parking, though there were already lots of people lined up and waiting. I didn't film much here at this spot, but we ended up beside a German photographer and had a great chat while we waited. Everyone had gathered on this side of the viaduct, understandably so, since the train heading to Malag runs with the engine facing forward, which is what you want. Across the way, only 2 lone spectators. These were the type of shots I was looking for of the Jacobite Steam Train. I'm glad we came back for one last attempt. Then it was a mad dash to the car, which I positioned for a quick escape before the traffic jam. Another go at the Milkman on Cockburn Street. It was busy. I took a series of 2-minute exposures, which I blended to give an image without people. Well, it's the last night in Scotland. One last night in Edinburgh before we go back to Nova Scotia. I'm just after kind of a date night, doing some photography, walking off some of the booze. So if any of these night shots are a little blurry, we'll blame it on that. But this is Cockburn Street again, and we'll see what I come up with. But just whatever after priority and whatever the exposure will be. Probably going to do a shot on this road with a whole whack of exposures to kind of blur all the people out, because it's still very busy. But from the bottom here looking up. But yeah, so I don't know how I'm going to put all these videos together, but I got a lot of pictures to go through. It's going to be fun. Anyway, thanks for sticking with it, and we'll see you in the next Nova Scotia content.